In the Coachella Valley, we have an affordable housing crisis. We live in this incredibly beautiful place, world-renowned recreation destination. But if you dig just a little bit deeper, you recognize that it's a very hard place to live if you are a low-income person. The hospitality, ag, service workers that drive this economy, they're priced out. For the economy to be able to continue to just function, folks need a place to live. When we first started to lay the foundation for what would become Live to Rise, we engaged more than 1,400 community residents to help us develop our community priorities. And overwhelmingly, folks identified housing instability as the #1 obstacle to being able to have a stable life. We have a deficit, a crisis deficit of housing supply, and we have 10 municipalities. We got to figure out how we get everyone to work together to drive towards radically increasing housing supply. And that's what really led us to finding the Center for Community Investment and embracing the Capital Absorption Framework.
Back in 2017, Riverside County came with the Center for Community Investment and Live to Rise on this Connect Capital initiative. And then we came to one of the meetings in Chicago. We thought we were being bold, we're gonna do 500 units over a 10-year window of time. And then Robin came in and said, do the math. If you do 500 units over 10 years, what would that do to actually addressing rent burden in the Coachella Valley? I was like, well, if there's close to 70,000 rent burden households, 500 doesn't really do a whole hell of a lot. We started mapping out all the affordable housing projects on paper and saying where are these projects stalled? Oh, this one needs a different construction financing. Oh, this one could qualify for this state resource. So how do we position them to be successful for that resource? And started stepping away from the individual projects and started seeing the full picture. Pipeline is like a tool, allowing you to see the full chessboard. Seeing the full chessboard, you can make more strategic moves. When money is coming available, you're able to walk right into a congressman's office, a senator's office, the governor's office, the freaking White House, and say hey, we have projects ready to go. If you gave us X amount of dollars, it would move these. If you gave us more than that, it would move all these other ones. When we started to see the full picture, rather than investing in what individual projects need, we started to invest of what the system needed to actually meet the overall goals.
So we've aggregated a regional pipeline that now has more than 7,700 units of housing in it. And we work together with partners to drive a policy agenda, an investment agenda, and a resident advocacy agenda that really drives and moves that pipeline forward. For us, that has included building our own regional catalyst fund. We lift the Coachella Valley's Housing Catalyst Fund, which we expect to have grown by the end of this calendar year to almost $80 million in capital, which is providing patient, flexible, low-interest capital to community partners to be able to navigate the obstacles that they face to securing resources and making their projects pencil out so more housing can be built.
So much of the money that comes from government and different programs is really clunky. And so how do we can braid public and private dollars to actually get the flexible financing needed to address revolving solutions so that once the money goes out the door, it's not gone forever, that it can get recycled through. So the county, we made a $2 million investment of our ARPA allocation into the Catalyst Fund. We are working with Live to Rise in the state of California on their $15 million additional award, and all of these dollars are being matched dollar for dollar with funding from Rural Communities Assistance Corporation, the Low Income Investment Fund, so that when you really look at this, it's not $15 million or $17 million invested, it's really $34 million that's been anchored. The Catalyst Fund is not just a tool. It's based off of community levels of priority. So there's an advisory board. And we were able to have regular check-ins and saying you know what, the plan was never to have construction financing, but we never saw interest rates being where they were right now. And so we recently made a construction loan on a project in Palm Springs, blended with other financing that bring down the interest rate and bring down the cost to make the project more likely to actually move forward. We now have flexible capital to adapt to the times.
Between the years of 2010 and 2018, in the Coachella Valley, we produced 38 units of affordable housing a year. We are now up to over an annual rate of 1,500 units of production, and we are on track to meet our 10-year goal of radically increasing housing supply by 10,000 units by 2028, which is a goal that we set together with Riverside County with the support of the Center for Community Investment in 2018. Everyone, including ourselves, thought we were crazy for having such a what seemed like a bold, audacious goal. We wanted to set a goal where when we look outside in our community that we could actually see that there was a difference in the population because of the work we were doing together. We're working with 9 cities plus a county, dozens of organizations in extreme economic and racial inequality and segregation. There are so many reasons why this shouldn't have worked here. I think for anyone who wants to pursue a bold change path, what our work demonstrates is anything is possible anywhere